I, 28 female, have an older brother, 32. He's married to sister-in-law, 33. I get along with her well, except for this one point. If you don't keep an eye on her, she'll get into the kitchen and add seasonings to whatever's cooking. She thinks she's fixing stuff, but not all foods need turmeric. This Saturday, I received 40 pounds of tomatoes. It took me the whole weekend to turn it into a sauce I plan to can. Depending on the recipe, I can make it plain, then add whatever seasonings and herbs it needs. They came to take a bag of spare clothes for one of their kids. In the 5 minutes it took me to get it, she managed to get into the kitchen and add salt, pepper, turmeric, olive oil, garlic powder, and Italian herbs to all 5 pots simmering on the stove. And when I asked her what she was doing, she dared to say, "This sauce needed some taste. I added it for you." I'd never told her not to touch what I was cooking before. I was so angry that I knew I couldn't talk calmly with her. So I simply walked to my brother, told him to take the clothes and his wife, and that she was no longer welcome in my house. She followed me, was shocked, and started apologizing, but I just ignored her. I added that he should come by tomorrow to take the sauce his wife ruined, because otherwise it'd be thrown away, and that I expected 40 pounds of replacement tomatoes. They left, and he returned with the tomatoes, an apology letter from her, and an apology carrot cake, my favorite, but I told him that I stand by my decision. Now my parents got involved, since I'm the one that usually hosts, and since she's not allowed in my house. I told them to make alternate plans for the next family gathering. My husband says I'm in the right, but my parents say my reaction is overblown. So, am I the idiot? She managed to get into the kitchen and add salt, pepper, turmeric, olive oil, garlic powder, and Italian herbs to all 5 pots that were simmering on the stove. Like, what the heck? Marinara flags everywhere. This is so boundary disrespecting, disrespectful, and insulting to what you're cooking, and it wasn't even for her. Not the idiot for being furious. I do think she's learned her lesson though. Yeah, and even if you didn't season at all, her behavior is completely wild. Who seasons foods they're not only not cooking, but not even eating? Who cares if your tomato sauce is totally bland? Is she the Spice Girls 6 member? Sabotage Spice? I'm so fascinated by the pathology of this. What the heck is going through her head? Is it an impulse issue? Does she just think she's a better cook than everyone else? Bizarre. There are all kinds of wrong with messing with someone else's cooking. What if you were making something for someone allergic to turmeric? Good on your brother for replacing the tomatoes, and on her for apologizing. That said, you're still in the right to ban her from the house, especially if that has happened multiple times, and you've been clear with her that it's unacceptable. Tell your parents, I won't be hosting her anymore, since she clearly doesn't like my cooking. But I'm sure her and brother will be happy to host, since she's so eager to demonstrate her skills in the kitchen. You're entitled to hold to your boundary, even after her apology. A cake is a nice gesture, but it's not enough to gain your trust back. If you're thinking about letting her back in, I would ensure the apology's real first, not "I'm sorry if your feelings were hurt," but something which takes responsibility for her actions. I added seasoning to your giant tomato sauce project without asking. This was out of line, and I shouldn't have done it. It's my fault and I'm sorry. In the future, I'm planning to not enter your kitchen unless invited, and I won't even look. I'll shield my eyes with my hand until I get permission to look around. It's not really about the flavors. It's about control. She's taking possession of the food by adding her seasonings, making it her dish, even if it's cooking on another person's stove. She then pretends to have rescued the food with her additions, simultaneously calling OP a bad cook while plumping her own ego. Replacing the tomatoes does nothing for the lost labor. I would go no contact with her. I, 49 female, have been married to my wife, Kim, 40, for 10 years, and we've been together for 12. We live in Australia, where most schools have uniforms, but Kim, being American, didn't have a uniform growing up. Recently, my stepdaughter, Anna, teen, has been rolling up her school skirt. When I was in school, It was common for girls to roll up their skirts, and even my daughter, 22, did it during high school. Since Kim leaves for work earlier than I do, I usually drop Anna off at school. Anna's asleep when Kim leaves most mornings. Over the past month, I've noticed that Anna's skirt has been getting shorter. Yesterday, I had to go to work early, so Kim agreed to drop Anna off at school. During the car ride, Kim yelled at Anna for the length of her skirt and told her to roll it down. Anna mentioned that I had seen her skirt before and never said anything. Kim is now extremely upset with me and has accused me of being a creep. In hindsight, I should have told Kim about Anna's skirt, but I didn't see it as a big issue, as it's normal here. Also, I wasn't really sure how to bring it up. I only say the rolled skirt is normal, as my older kid did it, and I've had the same argument with her. It gets hot, and while boys can wear shorts, girls don't. So I understand she could be rolling her skirt due to the heat. I'm a dad to Anna, but I leave Kim to parent bigger decisions with Anna. However, after her comment now, I don't want to be around Anna alone anymore. I've never thought of Anna that way, and I've been in her life since she was 2. Oh wow, calling me like that for respecting my stepchild's autonomy would change my marriage forever. I would never feel safe alone with my stepchild again, and I could not look at my partner without feeling sick that they think so little of me. You are not the idiot, and I'm sorry. I would be so upset. Agreed. She's totally out of line with that comment. Honestly, I think the length of her skirt is between Anna and the school. Why should you be policing it? Your wife would prefer you monitor the amount of thigh her daughter's showing? It's normal teenage behavior, and if you had brought it up, she probably still would have questioned why you were paying attention to her daughter's skirt. Lose-lose situation here. Your wife is seriously overreacting. My friend has been dating a new guy for a few months and wanted me to tag along for drinks yesterday so I could meet him for the first time. I was willing to hang out with them and have a good time, so I agreed. About an hour before I was supposed to meet them, my friend called me and asked me for photos of what I planned to wear. I told her that I'd probably decide last minute after showering. We were just going to a bar, so I figured it wasn't that serious. She insisted I dress down and asked me not to wear any makeup. For reference, I wear very little to no makeup, so I found her request extremely strange. At this point, I was annoyed. I asked her why she was trying to police what I wore and how I looked. I could just stay home if she was uncomfortable with me being there. I only agreed to do this because she asked me to. She apologized and said she was just looking out for me because I don't frequently go to bars, and she didn't want me to look silly. I thanked her for her concern and hung up. While I stuck to my usual makeup routine, I decided to wear a dress that I was looking forward to wearing on a date. I was meeting my boyfriend for dinner after drinks with my friend and her boyfriend, so I figured it was the perfect time to put it on. She was immediately upset when I arrived at the bar to meet my friend and her boyfriend. She pulled me aside and accused me of trying to steal her boyfriend. I told her she was being ridiculous. I hadn't even said more than a hi before she flew off the handle. She was standoffish the whole time I was with them, but I had a nice conversation with her boyfriend because we grew up in the same part of town. I had allotted about 2 hours to hang out with them, but I decided to leave after an hour. My friend messaged me the next day and said she was extremely hurt because I had decided to dress hot, despite her asking me not to. She thinks I purposely tried to make her look bad in front of her new boyfriend. I said she was insane because I've been dating my boyfriend for 3 years and don't want anything to do with hers. She's still extremely upset and won't talk to me, even after I tried to make amends. Not the idiot. Your friend is obviously projecting here. You can wear whatever you want. Little makeup, no makeup, tons of makeup. Who cares? What you wear shouldn't matter. She won't have a boyfriend long if she keeps hounding people she feels threatened by at every chance. She sounds insecure, and that's her problem. Look, I'm not young, but I've heard of this more and more lately. Is this a thing now? Asking people for a photo of what they're going to wear to stuff and then telling them to change because they're too hot? Like, what the heck? This is a huge red flag from OP's friend. I can't imagine any of my friends telling me what I can and cannot wear around their boyfriends. She's definitely insecure, but it also seems like an insult to OP. If she thinks OP is going to steal her boyfriend, that shows how little she thinks of her. And if the new boyfriend would be ready to go after OP, he's not worth her time. Oh boy, it's going to be so rough for that boyfriend when he's decided he's had enough and breaks up with Crazy. LOL. Girl, please. Why are you trying to make amends when you did nothing wrong? She's not the kind of friend you need to keep around. How dare she try to control your appearance? The fact that she tried to make it seem like she was looking out for you just goes to show how comfortable she is at manipulating you. I strongly recommend finding better friends who don't cause unnecessary drama in your life. My sister Lily has a toddler son, Thomas, yet acts as if she's still a teenager. Lily commonly says things like how she's young and her 20s are meant to be the best years of her life. Therefore, older adults are all meant to accommodate her lifestyle. Our parents have been raising Thomas more than Lily has, but after many warnings went ignored, they recently put their foot down with Lily. Our parents told Lily they were tired of her doing whatever she wanted, and it was time for her to grow up. They gave her several months to work out new housing and childcare arrangements. Time's almost up, and Lily found a studio, but is yet to get any childcare worked out. She was hoping that our parents would change their minds, and is finally realizing that they're serious. Our paternal grandma can't help because she's disabled, and my maternal grandparents told Lily no, so she begged me to return to working from home so that I could provide childcare for Thomas. I told Lily no. Working from home isn't the paid vacation that she assumes it is. I already have a life and responsibilities, and I didn't sign up to be a parent. Lily gave me her usual arguments about her right to be a young person and enjoy her 20s. So I told her I also have that right. She waived hers by having a baby, and our parents are right that she needs to grow up. Lily's also turning her nose up at a job opportunity that offers on-site childcare to employees because it's in retail, and she says she's afraid of being recognized by her former classmates. I told Lily that I didn't care. She's 23, and most of her former classmates are also working embarrassing retail jobs anyway. Heck, if anything, her former classmates would probably be jealous of her for landing a job that provides on-site childcare. Lily told my paternal grandma, the one who's disabled and can't help, about what was going on. My paternal grandma called me a bad sister and aunt because big sisters are supposed to look after their little siblings, no matter how old they are. A few of my friends told me I should be more concerned about Thomas and how my refusal to help would impact him. They said I'm naive to think Lily will get her act together when I've seen how irresponsible and immature she is, and that when Lily inevitably decides to act irresponsibly, it's going to be my nephew who pays the price. My friends are reasonable in worrying about Thomas, but there's no chance Lily will ever learn if people keep enabling her. Am I the idiot for refusing to help? If everyone is so concerned about the child's well-being, why isn't CPS involved? Or if your friends are that concerned, why can't they help? Not the idiot, OP. You're right. Lily will never become responsible if people enable her to live a certain way. There is no solution for Lily except life. She thinks and believes she's owed something from the world. Only when she loses this as her religion can she learn to be responsible for herself and the child that she brought into the world. Oh, by the way, where is Thomas's father and family? Lily has a history of bad choices, and Grandma just doesn't or can't see it, and if she could help, would probably have a different opinion. My sister knew 2 men who could have possibly been my nephew's father, but both men got tested, and neither was the father. Based on the statements she would make while pregnant, it was apparent to me at least that my sister had no idea how much work a baby would actually be. She clearly didn't anticipate that my nephew wouldn't be a doll that she could just pass on to our parents whenever she wanted a break. She's worried about classmates seeing her work retail, and she doesn't know who the father of her child is? Wow. The continuing saga of Lily not making good choices, but doing whatever she wants and expecting everyone else to pick up the slack. Grandma's right about big sisters looking out for little sisters. Big sister wants little sister to get her act together, not go into a loop and end up irresponsible. The support group will not be there forever. I, 29 male, am my grandmother's oldest grandchild. As such, I was stuck looking after my little cousins at family gatherings during my whole childhood and young adulthood. This was never really an issue for me, as I generally like kids, and my cousins were really fun to hang out with. Unfortunately, when my cousin Amy, 27 female, got married and had kids of her own, male and female toddlers, she assumed that I would take up the position of default babysitter for them. I was not okay with this, and I told her as much, but she just kept pawning them off on me. I'm too non-confrontational to put my foot down directly, and the global issue hit, so it became a non-issue anyways. Since we've started having big gatherings again, I had to find excuses to miss family events, usually that I was showing plague symptoms or a friend or coworker had it. Recently, my mom confronted me about avoiding family, and I told her the real reason. She said she understood, and that she talked to Amy about it. Of course, I didn't ask her to. I don't need my mom to solve all my problems, LOL, but she's the family diplomat and busybody. It's what she does. Well, apparently, Amy just had to gossip to the rest of the family, and now I'm getting calls and texts from family, basically saying that I'm selfish and that I hate my cousin's kids. I don't. And how dare I make my family worry about me just because I wouldn't suck it up and watch the kids for a few hours? That point has made me start to think, am I the idiot? Edit. I don't drink and I don't think I ever will. No big reason. It's just that I get wicked hangover migraines in the morning after, to the point that I haven't gotten more than a little buzzed in a few years. I will not be putting myself through that to spite my family. Not the idiot. Everyone who's contacted you can step in as the default babysitter. Point that out to the family. This is not your job in the family any more than it's theirs. Amy can take care of her own children. Start some group text. Cousin so-and-so said it's no big deal to watch your kids for a few hours. See you this weekend. You've set a boundary, and now they're all giving you crap for it and expect you to fall in line and do whatever they want you to do, the way they're used to you doing it. Screw all that noise. Dude, you're a 30-year-old man, and an invitation is not a summons. Go hang with people that want you there for you, not for what you can do for them. Here's the really head-shaking part for me. Multiple family gatherings have occurred that OP made excuses to get out of, gatherings that the cousin and her kids were presumably at. They're not saying, hey man, it's all good, the kids are covered, and we miss you. They're saying, suck it up. They know exactly what these gatherings have been like without him, and are just trying to rope him back in to kid duty instead of them. They're probably as bad or worse at telling cousin to mind her own kids as OP was originally. Babysitters get paid, so seriously, dude, you're gonna have to deal with this or never see your family again. Personally, I'd make a list of everyone who got on your case and tell Amy they volunteered to watch her kids. Also, tell her she can shove off, that you aren't spending your whole life as her personal unpaid nanny.